Hello and welcome to the first ever edition of the Bean and Dom Poker Podcast, or the Bad Poker Podcast, as we found out after our initials were mangled together. I'm Chris Bean, and I am your host, and I've got my sidekick along with me, Don Clementson.
Hello.
And our special guest this week is a poker reporter from Poker.pro, Christoffer Karlen.
Hello, nice to be here.
Yeah. So, this is our first episode, hopefully the first of many, and we'll kick things off by Dom. Why don't you introduce yourself and tell us about you?
Yeah, cheers. Hi, I'm Dom Clementson. I've been following poker for 25 years now, which is longer than I'm happy to admit, really, but there you go, that's the truth. And I've been working in the industry for about 5 years now, around the time of COVID. Started reporting for some websites, and then got into live reporting. Met you, Chris, at World Series 2023, and then we both bumped into Christoffer this year at the Irish Poker Open, which I'm sure we'll come on to a bit later.
Absolutely, and I'm Chris Bean. I've been in the poker industry since 2022. Reported on 2 WSOP World Series, and most recent job was at the Irish Open, and where it was a drunken mess, especially with these 2 DJs who were with me. And,
fair comment.
So, Chris, Poker.pro, you've been at a number of events this year. How did you get your start in the industry?
Yeah, first of all, again, thanks for being here with the pod on you guys. This is going to be so exciting. And
have we just woken you up?
Basically, yeah.
You could have got out of your pajamas, mate.
I had a busy day last night, so I slept all day today, basically. But hey, that's life. You guys both know what the hours can be in this industry at times. But yeah, I did my first live reporting event back in 2023. That was the Swedish Championships in Bratislava. I had another full-time job back then, but since the beginning of this year, I've been working full-time and traveling a lot to the Baltic states, and many stops in the UK as well, actually, where you guys are from, if I'm not mistaken. And that's for the PartyPoker Tour, of course, which is in a revival this year. So 1 year almost of combined experience in the industry, you could say.
Yeah, and speaking of the PartyPoker Tour, there's the next leg in Birmingham in a couple of weeks. Will you be there reporting?
I will be there reporting, and I've been trying to lure the 2 of you to come along and rake some pounds or quids, as you like to call it. So no, I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to be there. It's from what I've heard, it's a pretty cool venue, but it's the first time they've had a live poker event of this magnitude on that site. So it'll be cool to revive the local Birmingham poker community, so to say.
Yeah, and it's going to be at Resorts World in Birmingham, and looks like an intriguing schedule. You've been to a couple of the previous PartyPoker stops so far. What can players expect?
Well, the schedule is they have some tournaments that have been on all the schedules. For example, the £500 main event, which has been great. And the little brother, as I like to call it, the 150 mini-main, as we used to say, at the Royal Dublin Society. and that one has just been a real crowd favorite. But there's been a lot of interesting on the schedule. For example, JJ Hassan, I guess you guys know about him. He's integrated the PLO Masters as a part of the PartyPoker Tour. So that's been a success. And we also have 3 different Poker.pro branded mix games on the upcoming stop. There's what's it called? Oh, yeah, the Tennessee Hold'em.
Now, I'm intrigued by this game. I've seen videos of it, but there's not much known about it, so I'm guessing there's quite a bit of edge there. Can you just quickly take us through it?
Yeah, I mean, I can try to, as good as I know it, but...
Yeah, Chris tried explaining it to me and was rather unsuccessful. I don't know if it was his bad explanation or my poor brain, but there you go. Either way, I couldn't understand what he was going on about.
The only thing, I can't even remember if you get 2 whole cards or 5, or if you can choose, but I know that the flop isn't called the flop. It's called the launch, and if you flop good, you can say, okay. Yeah, the launch. If you flop good, you can say, okay, I don't want the turn, and I don't want the river. And it's something like, if you get to see the turn, you need to discard 1 from your hand, and if you want to see the river, you need to discard another one. Yeah, as you can hear. It's hard to explain.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of GTO players in the Tennessee Hold'em yet. But to answer your question, Chris, it's a lot of cool tournaments, and it's well worth paying a visit to one of the party poker events.
Yeah, I think I can speak for Chris when I say you've managed to twist our arms. You certainly twisted mine. I'll be there. And
that's good to hear.
I'm pretty sure Chris is as well. So
yeah, we'll be there. And we'll be.
I
don't think we'll be firing the main event, but we'll definitely a couple of side events, I think.
Yeah. I of course spent a little bit of time with the Party Poker ambassadors, and I understand that you know Natalie Bromley a bit, Chris.
Yeah, Natalie, I've known for a few years now. We're both APAT regulars, and so I'm normally down to the APATs for the mixed games. Natalie is always cashing in the main events. So yeah, she's an absolute knockout, Natalie, and we're hoping to have her on the show in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I assume she will go to Birmingham as well.
Yeah, we're hoping to go down and I speak to a few of the Party Poker pros and then make a little bit of content out of it, and it should be good. So going on to the news now, Dom, why don't you kick us off? There's some big poker tournament winners this week.
Yeah, there have been indeed. I'll just shuffle my notes here, try and look at the camera while I'm reading. I think first and foremost, the obvious big story of the last week or so has been Christoffer, who finished 3rd in 125k at Triton. And despite finishing 3rd, still banked over $1 million for it. And that took her up to become the winningest female player of all time, just narrowly pipping Vanessa Selbst, which is kind of long overdue, really, because it's been a while since Vanessa was playing regularly. So it's about time we had someone do it. And I don't think there's anyone more deserving than Foxen, really.
Yeah, Kirsten's probably one of the top 5 players in the world, overall at the moment, and
yeah, and she's been crushing it for years. I mean, I think we all knew this day was coming. It was just a matter of when, but she's finally done it now, and I think it's just a question of how much distance she can put between herself and the rest of the field now.
Absolutely. And going to online now, Benny Glaser has won his 16th W Coup while winning the $55 PPO. Incredible to win 16 of those events with the amount of runners in the field. Only the 3rd Hold'em event, though, which is quite astonishing because I'd say 66% of the tournaments are Hold'em. Have you ever come across Benny yourself, Chris, on circuit?
If I have what?
Have you ever came across Benny on the circuit, Benny Glaser?
Oh, no, I haven't. But as you say, I'm just as impressed with these guys who keep winning such big titles on a regular basis, because it's really a minefield when the fields are this large. So utterly impressed by his performance.
Yeah, but one thing I have to say about Benny, he's one of the nicest guys to me, and I had a little bit of a joke with him at the WSOP Europe a couple of years ago, because everyone was coming down like with buy-ins in Louis Vuitton and Balenciaga bags. He had his money in an Asda bag for life, so that he is keeping it real. And Benny is like just a diamond.
Yeah. I mean, it was 120 grand, but he's still keeping it real.
Yeah. So, and Dom, who else has been winning this week?
Yeah, I think the next thing to mention would be Ike Haxton. He finally got his Triton win. I think he's had 64 cashes, 30 odd final tables. He's finished second 6 times, and he finally got the W. So yeah, well played, Ike. He's another one. I don't know if you've bumped into him ever, either of you, Chris's, but I bumped into him at an EPT. Oh God, maybe 10 years ago now. And another guy, just absolutely lovely bloke, just really down to earth, great to talk to, and I couldn't be happier for him, because he's one of the best players out there. Similar to what you were saying about Kristen Foxon, he's been doing it for years and years and years, and he's still ahead of the pack. And yeah, maximum respect to him.
And finally, just want to shout out all the grinders in the Grosvenor 2550 series this weekend. There's been 3 tournaments at Manchester, Glasgow, and my local casino, Stockton-on-Tees. All 3 of them smashed through their 50k guarantee, with Manchester being the biggest, just smashing past £83,000, which is an incredible price pool for £250 buy-in. And we'll give you all the winners next week. So,
yeah. Oh, before we move on, could I just mention as well Ben CB? I forgot I meant to mention that to you earlier when we were chatting about it, but he won the World Series online main event for 3.9 million, I think it was. So wow. Yeah, I think that's another big one. Just some payday.
So moving on now. And so Chris, you mentioned how you got your start in the poker. Were you playing poker before you started reporting on it?
A little bit recreationally, but I used to enjoy playing live a lot. But the last casino in Sweden closed down, unfortunately, in was it April this year, something like that. So yes, I did play from time to time, but nothing too serious. And now I hardly don't play at all, to be honest.
And what about online? Is that still playable in Sweden?
Yeah, it is. But on fewer and fewer sites. Take PartyPoker, for example. They actually shut down in Sweden a little less than 2 years ago now, I think. And we don't have access to rakeback or any bonuses or anything like that. And that's not only for poker, or the bonuses is for all online gambling, of course. So if you want to be a professional online poker player, don't move to Sweden. There are better countries to stay in, for sure.
Is that why you do all your money at table games now, then?
Yes.
And
I don't want to talk anything more about it.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and we were all together at the Irish Open. It was a hell of a series. A record-breaking field, a very popular local winner. But how does the Irish Open compare to the rest of the series that you've covered, Chris?
It's you really can't compare it. It's by far the biggest one that I've been to, and yeah, you guys seen the venue. It's absolutely massive, and I just keep thinking, will they outgrow this soon? Because I don't know if you guys have seen the schedule for the upcoming edition, but it's massive.
Well, I don't know if you noticed last year, but there are there are other rooms on the side. There's a whole kind of annex building on the side. I don't think they'll have any trouble expanding for a few years yet to come anyway.
All right. Well, I guess that's true because I think because I worked there 2023 as well, and you guys weren't there then. But then they didn't use the side rooms like they did this time. I remember at least for the later days in the festival, when there was so much going on, they opened up that other room. So, but that's reassuring to hear, man, that it's big. But I mean, next year is going to be bonkers, of course. For example, the Def Championships, they don't have one tournament next year like this year. They have at least 4, I think it was.
I think they've got 4, and I think they were trying to get a cash table as well with the dealer who signed. I don't know if that's been confirmed yet, but I know that was something that they were trying to do. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's an unforgettable event. One of the funniest I've been to, and for sure the biggest one.
Yeah, and the mixed games are increasing as well because I've seen that they added a high roller 8 game, which is probably going to be the biggest 8 game ever played in Europe. It's just a mecca for mixed game players, which is very rare to get in Europe. And if you like your Omaha, if you like your stud, get yourself to Dublin in March. It's going to be a hell of an event. But
I'm glad that you mentioned. I'm glad that you mentioned mixed games because I forgot the most important part. They actually have the Sweden on the schedule next year as well.
Yes.
The Swedish game, which is hands down the funniest game of poker, in my opinion. You won't have a boring time playing that game. So it'll be so much fun.
Yeah, I've only ever played Zitten once in Malta in a cash game, but I absolutely loved it and picked it up quite quickly. But there's just all the different variants as well. Like there's Zitten 49, Zitten 21. It's just like there must be like 20 different variants of Zitten, and it's so hard to try and remember everything because basically for the initiate, Zitten is 5 cards you receive, and as an Omaha, and normally it's a 5-card draw hand. But there's other variants where it could be like deuce to 7, or it could be like ace to 5. It takes some time to get used to it, but once you do, it is the funnest game to play in the cash table.
I hope that the 3 of us can enjoy a 3-handed Sweden showdown at an after party at a hotel sometime soon.
That sounds like a plan. But speaking of partying, you had an interview with a famous Irish poker player, didn't you, Chris, at the Irish Open? Can you tell us the results of that?
Are you referring to the legendary Patrick Parkinson?
That would be the one.
Yeah.
Could you tell us as a preamble to that why you were interviewing her? Because I think it's important. Because we lost a very famous Irish poker player shortly before, and I believe that you interviewed him to get some background information on Colette Doherty and what she meant to Irish poker. So could we touch on that just briefly before you go into the debauchery with Patrick Parkinson?
We can absolutely do that. And as you mentioned, Colette Doherty was Irish poker legend, and one could argue she was an international poker legend as well. I don't remember when she won. She won the first ever Irish Poker Open, which was 1975. No.
Yeah. It was 50 years ago this year, wasn't it?
There you go. Yeah, 1975. And then she won it a second time. So she was the first winner, obviously the first female winner, and the first 2-time winner. And she passed away 2 years ago. And, always when I get interested in something, whether it's poker or whether it's Guitar Hero, which used to be my thing back in the days, or tennis, which has been following me my whole life, I just get so interested in the history and my community and all of that, more than actually the game itself. So when I first heard about Colette and what she had done, I wanted to look up as much as possible about her, but there were nothing to read about her. like an enigma sort of. So then when we worked Irish Open last year, and Jen, the media coordinator, asked us to each do a evergreen piece, I think we call it. And then I was like, oh yeah, I want to write about this. So I asked Jen, do you know someone who I can talk to who might have known Colette? And she said, I don't know anyone, but I can imagine there will be a lot of legends on site. And then I talked to our beloved photographer, Mickey May. Mickey May! And she said that Patrick would be the perfect guy. So she set the interview up, and I met Patrick, and I had like this document with some short questions, but we ordered a pint each. I threw away the notepad, and we just talked about his relationship with Colette for 2 hours basically, and he even gave me the phone number to her son, and I think I managed to create a fine little piece about her life. And
it's a very, very good piece. And when I post anything from this on the socials, I'll put a link up to your piece, because if there's people watching this that haven't read it, it's well worth the read.
Thank you so much.
It's a very fitting tribute.
But weren't you going pint for pint with Patrick?
We started upstairs at the balcony, and then we moved into the crack den. And
how many did you get through in your 2-hour interview?
Too many to remember would be the short answer. But
it was 7 when you came up back to the balcony, and then I think that was after the interview, and then you went back down into the crack then.
That might have been the night when I didn't feel so good the day after. It should be, right?
It was, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
As Christian Zetcher can attest to, I believe.
Yes. I'm too ashamed to tell the aftermath of that story, but I'd like to take this opportunity to once again extend my condolences to my roommate Christian.
Yeah, there was some clearing up to be done in the morning, I believe.
I think that no one would believe a guy who wrote such a beautiful piece about a poker legend would act like that. But no, it was...
Listen, mate, if you go pint for pint with Parkinson, it's only ever going to end one way. So it was a valuable life lesson.
They say that we Swedes can't drink much, but I must be a lightweight. But, it was a pleasure to meet him. He's such a nice guy. It was a pleasure to meet Peter, Colette's son. And a quick shout out to Mad Harper, who did some fine tuning to the final product before it was published. Yeah. The master of the English language.
She certainly is. Yeah. It's thanks to her that I got into the poker media world in the first place. So yeah. Well, I lived in Brighton with her, and I used to pester her on a almost daily basis, and eventually she sort of caved in and added me to a kind of poker journalist sort of Facebook group. Somehow managed to persuade someone to let me work for them. But yeah, if it weren't for Mad, I wouldn't be here.
I didn't know that. That's a cool story. Yeah.
So you mentioned earlier about tennis, Chris. What's the story there?
Well, I started playing tennis when I was 6 years old, and then I went to tennis high school, as I guess you would call it. And I worked with tennis my whole life, basically, until I started with poker. And if I may do some marketing, I actually did oh no, my headset died.
No, you're still alive.
You guys hear me?
I can hear you, yeah.
Okay, that's good. I actually did a piece on poker.pro about 2 weeks ago where I compared tennis to poker and what tennis has taught me to take to the poker tables. And short answer, but tennis has made the person I am today. It learned me patience and whatnot, not only in a poker-related context, but just in life. So I love hitting that yellow ball.
Yeah, I mean, there's like obvious comparisons. It's like a mental sport, because you're playing against yourself as well as the opponent, really. Like so. What kind of level did you get to play tennis? Like,
I actually usually say that I must be the worst tennis player in the world if you consider how much time I put into it, to how good I actually am, and that translates to my poker as well. So no, but I was decent when I was like 14 years old and below that, but in my when everyone hit puberty earlier than me, and I pretty soon changed to coaching instead of playing, and I loved it ever since.
Do you think you'll go back to it when you do hit puberty?
I hope so. I still, my mom still believes in me. So, and no, but I think that I actually do a tennis podcast every week with another friend. So I still am involved in tennis. When I'm not out traveling, I still hit the tennis courts, both as a player and a coach. So it's still nice to have something still in your life that's been with you for all the ride.
And now for the most controversial question of the evening, what do you think of paddle?
Good question, and I actually do like it. And I said that I worked with tennis my whole life before, but I also worked with paddle a little bit. So I like it. I liked it more back in the days, but it did, at least in Sweden, it took a lot of the best players we had to paddle because they could make more money there. And I don't like that fact, but I guess that's life.
Mm-hmm. It's like with any sport, like when the short form develops, all the money goes like we've got that with 2020 cricket and not so much of rugby sevens. That hasn't really worked out there, but
golf is going that way as well. They've taken, Liv has reduced it to 54 holes, and everything. So you can understand why people don't have that kind of. I mean, it's very hard to find 5 days to go and watch a test match. Do you know what I mean? And they need people to pay and come in and watch it.
Yeah, like Chris is looking puzzled now. He has no idea what we're talking about.
I have not. Can you guys tell me 3 tennis players from the UK?
Tim Henman, Andy Murray.
Current?
Yes.
Greg Rosetsky. Greg Rosetsky.
There you go.
He's Draper.
Oh yeah, Jack Draper.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Fred Perry. How far back do you want to go?
For the
No, but all right. You guys know more than I thought you did.
I used to watch it a lot as a kid.
Yeah.
But not so much now.
Yeah. Wimbledon's an institution in this country. The TV just stops for 2 weeks for tennis.
Oh yeah. Wow, I can imagine. I actually hope to go to Wimbledon next year for the first time.
Oh, cool. Yes.
If I can get my hand on some tickets, which isn't always the easiest thing.
You have to camp out, I believe, for about 12 hours before you can get in the queue. So
yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So what other events will you be covering soon with Poker.pro?
Well, it's Birmingham next on the schedule, as we talked about before. That's the 4th stop of the total of 5, which PartyPoker have announced this year. They haven't announced the location for the 5th stop yet.
Oh, it's going to be Nottingham, isn't it?
Hey, I won't say anything. Speaking of Nottingham, I was there as well for the Hendomob Championship earlier in March, I think. Absolutely loved it. So I'm going to Birmingham. I'm going to Malta for the Battle of Malta. That's at the end of October, I think. I'm going to Vilnius, yet another Baltic capital, for the Kings of Vilnius, a great event as well. Where else am I going? Maybe, I think that's it for now. What about you guys? Do you have anything else coming up soon?
We've only got this at the moment, haven't we, Tom? So...
Yeah, we've got this. We've got PartyPoker Tour in Birmingham. I was hoping to get out to the IPO in Dublin, the International Poker Open in Dublin, which I've played 4 or 5 times. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to juggle stuff to get out there. But that's a great event if you ever get the chance to go there. Very similar vibe to the Irish Open, but lower buy-ins, just a sort of slightly smaller stakes field, but with the very same field, run by Nick O'Hara, and he does a bang-up job. It's a really, really good event. So if I can get there, I will by hook or by crook. And then after that, I mean, things do tend to sort of slow down a bit before Christmas. And then it'll be next year in March, we'll be back at the Irish Open. I'm going to try to get to a couple of events in between those two. If everything goes well at the PartyPoker thing, and we hopefully make a few connections and can get in touch with a few media people, then maybe we can go to a few more events. And that's what I'd like to do anyway. So nothing officially firmed up yet, but yeah, hoping to make a few before the end of the year, definitely.
You mentioned Nick O'Hara before. He was the tournament director for the Irish Poker Open, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but it's him and the American guy whose name I can never remember, which I apologise for. I'll find it out later and add it to the Spotify edition of this. But they're both fantastic TDs, and
they are.
Yeah, I've been to half a dozen events run by Nick O'Hara, and he is the most unflappable man I have ever met. All of those events I've been to, most of them in Ireland, with people, let's just say the worse for wear, shall we? And, poker's a game of that tests your patience, and that combination of being very drunk and taking bad beats can often make people angry. And he is he's just unruffable. He's incredible.
Yeah.
And, I've never seen the man. I mean, I'd love to know what his heart rate is. He must have a resting heart rate of about 30, because he just,
yes,
he's unbelievable. But yeah, props to him.
Yeah, he has this aura of like he can't get stressed,
It's incredible.
And I think I came up to him in Dublin and said, "Nick, you're not wearing that blue suit. That blue suit is wearing you." And I don't know what I meant with that. But,
I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
Man, yeah, he's super nice.
So going forward, we'd love to hear from you, the listeners, with your stories. We want to be entertained, and with maybe a prize for some of the better stories that we hear. So an example of things that we'd love to hear is, has there been any ridiculous thing happened at the casino or in a card game that you've been in? Like, was there any ridiculous rulings? Like, did anything else just weird happen? Like, for example, was there a power cut or something like that? Also, another thing that we'd love to hear is your travel horror stories. So, on the road, playing poker, a lot of travel involved, a lot of things can go wrong. Chris, have you had any travel horror stories recently?
It's actually funny that you should mention that, because, as I've said, I've been working with this, almost full time for 10 months now, and everything's been going great until this trip, actually. Because I was going to fly so I live in Malmö, Sweden, but I usually fly from Copenhagen in Denmark because it's so close, right? Mm-hmm. So I was going to fly out on Monday evening, and I came to the airport and passed security and all that. And then I actually don't know if these news reached you guys, but there appeared drones over the airport, in both Copenhagen airport, Oslo, I think, in Norway, and Arlanda in Stockholm. So they rebooked me for a 7 a.m. flight the next day, which had a 6-hour layover in Stockholm. So I went home, had a beer, actually, and I had a friend staying at me that night, so we ended up talking a while. I didn't sleep. I went back and got on the flight and slept 6 hours on a bench at Arlanda Airport in Stockholm. So that wasn't very nice, but I mean, it's not too bad, right? There are worse travel stories than that, but this is the first time that I've experienced even the slightest of issue.
What about you, Dom? Have you had any travel horror stories?
Well, it's funny hearing Chris mention that, because when I flew out to Ireland last year, and I'd never had any problems travelling anywhere before, but we were on time, taxied out, got on the runway, and then we just stopped. And then a message comes over the intercom saying a warning light come on, saying that there was a fault with the engine. Taxi back. We spent about 20 minutes while someone came out with his spanner and fixed it, and then we were cleared for takeoff, which did not fill me with confidence, I have to say. The first 5 minutes of that flight were very tense indeed. But yeah, we got there all right. So, but yeah, it's a very worrying thing when you're on a runway and the pilot tells you that the engine's not working properly, and then 45 minutes later you're in the air.
I actually do have one other one. Now, it's not related to the flight, but more to like the living situation. And I had done the Battle of Malta for 10 days. And then straight after that, I did the Irish Poker Open, which, as we all three know, isn't a vacation per se. It's a lot of hard work. And then I rounded it all off with a first party poker event in London. And I was so tired after these 2 weeks in Malta and Dublin, and I come there and the hotel. You know, I'm usually not. How do you call it? I can sleep and live wherever, right? As long as the sheets are clean. The sheets weren't clean here, and
no.
you know, it was such a shit show of a place.
Not literally, I hope.
Well, not far from it. So that was not good. Yeah, but hey, I survived, and overall, it's all been great.
Like a few years ago, I was playing at the Goliath in Coventry and checked into a Britannia hotel, which has not got the greatest reputation here in the UK. It's like Premier Inn, Travelodge, Britannia. Like,
wow.
But not nice place. So, with me always being last minute, Britannia was the only option available. So, I booked my room, got there, and I was needing the toilet quite badly. And so, got checked in, got straight up into the room, went into the bathroom, and there was just shit smeared all over the toilet seat.
Oh my God.
All over the pan. And it was absolutely minging. And yeah, it was. I was absolutely foamed because I was busting for a piss. But I rang up the reception and they got like the actual.
You go in the bath at that point, surely. If you need.
I didn't trust that, to be honest. So I rang up reception, and the actual manager came up with some pair of marigolds and like sponges.
Christ.
Oh wow!
Yeah, because there's no other room to put me in, so yeah, I had to cope with that. But yeah, that was not nice.
Oh dear. No.
But
I think you win the story competition.
Yeah, thanks for that image. Thanks for that image, Chris. I'm going to be seeing that in my dreams tonight.
But we got one story coming from a friend of the show, actually, Lee Wiltshire from APAT and Poker Raffles. He sent us a story that there's a stuff of legend in the APAT circles. This is from the first ever trip aboard to Vienna back in 2008. And this is a story recounted by Richard True on the APAT message board. So him and Des were at Vienna. So it's 2 a.m. One of us is frisky enough for action. One of us is longing for bed and Horlicks in an early morning. We decided to take a cab back to the Guantanamo Hotel as Des needed to drop his bags off. We arrived, but the automated check-in service machine had been smashed. Des gets on the phone and tries to explain to the random Austrian that they had a room booked and can they send someone to fix the machine. Some random drunken scousers also had the same problem, only louder and more slurred. We wait in sub-Arctic temperatures for the man to arrive. I have a room, but decided to politic to stay with Des. The taxi arrives, and a drunk fella tries to hit a cabbie. Goes up to the room, refusing to pay the fare. 5 minutes later, the police arrive. Cabbies point at Des. I swear Des looked at me immediately. Austrian police revolvers holstered came up to and talked to us. We had explained the room problem. They look at the smashed screen and ask to see our passports. Hotel man arrives, insists I do not have a room booked despite me showing my key. The police question us about the cabbie assault on the hotel screen. We give a description of a passenger about to draw a photo of Kinboshi, when suddenly they get back when they notice that the Scouts had fallen asleep on the floor by us and is sleep talking incomprehensibly. Police there can go to bed. Didn't have the heart to explain, but actually I had my eyes on Sanyo over tassels at the cat club, and please could I have a lift? Des gets into the room, minus key at 5 a.m. Down to reception at 12 p.m. to find it deserted with a piece of paper pinned to the desk with Des and my passport numbers, addresses, and phone numbers. Just online transloaded the note at the bottom. These Englishmen think they had rooms booked, but I don't think so. Please question them. Wish us luck tonight.
Oh my god.
So, the story goes on, so I'll try and find you the story, but like, have you ever seen any drunken messes like that before, Christoffer, apart from yourself?
No, not when I haven't looked in the mirror. This is on another level for sure.
I can't find you the rest of the story, so we'll continue part 2 next week, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, so Resorts World Birmingham for PartyPoker Tour. 12th of October, does it start again, Chris?
Oh, good question. I should know this, but all the days are like a fog right now. But it probably is. Have you guys been at the venue before?
I've never been to Resorts World, no. Like, it's like on the outskirts of the city, so I've never actually played in Birmingham. Like, I've played in Nottingham a couple of times in Leicester, but that's about it.
October 11th till 19th looks to be.
Well, we'll be looking to get to the latter part of the festival, and like we're looking forward to it, aren't we, Don?
Yeah, you're not kidding. Yeah, it's the first time I've played live or got out to a live event since Easter. So yeah, I'm champing at the bit.
I'm so glad that you guys are able to come.
It's my birthday weekend, so it's going to be messy.
I'll buy you a beer.
Thank you very much. That's what I wanted to hear.
And in 31 days' time, I'll be 40. So,
is it far from you guys where you live to get there?
It's about a 3-hour drive for me.
Yeah, 2 to 2.5 hours for me. So
okay,
yeah,
well that's dedication for the game.
Say again, Chris?
Well, it's easier for us to get to than you.
Sorry?
I said it's easier for us to get to than you.
Yeah, but I'm getting paid.
That's very true.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Hey, I actually have one more story. If do I have time?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, and this is actually UK related because it was during the PartyPoker Manchester event, which I think we had back in May. Does that sound right? June maybe? Whatever, something like that. So, I've been out on a run. I like running a lot at 10k in the morning, and
it's very brave to do it in Manchester.
Oh yeah.
Nah.
Well, we'll get to that part, but
okay.
no, it's not bad, but really. But when I come back to the hotel, I take a shower and I get ready to walk from the hotel to the Manchester 235 casino, and it's about a 10-minute walk. and the hotel was right at the Piccadilly Square, I think it's called. I don't know how well you know Manchester, but so I walked there. There's quite a lot of people. It could have been a Friday, maybe 11 a.m. And I get something in my throat, and I'm like, oh God, I need to spit this out. But there's too much people. I don't like to spit in public, So I see this little alley, kind of. So I go in there, I spit, I get it out. All good, continue walking. Excuse me, sir. I heard someone from the... yeah, and it's like... he's from the Manchester City Council, like he's patrolling the area. And he fines me 150 quid for spitting on the street. And I mean, like, that's a bad start to the day. I go to the casino, I complain to everyone. And do you guys know Sam at Chiampong?
Yes, big Sam, yeah.
Yeah. And he tells me that they always go for the tourists, because apparently you can just ignore them and go into a store and they're not allowed to follow you or something like that. But being afraid as I am, I paid it right on the spot, So yeah, is that true? Can you just basically ignore them? They can't do anything.
I try to avoid it by never going to Manchester personally. But,
okay.
That was your first mistake.
But is it only a Manchester thing? Is it not a UK thing?
I have to say this: Manchester's a lovely place. I've been there several times, and it's a very nice place. I've always gotten well. But yeah, no, I've never been fined for spitting on the street.
No.
Yeah, I'm not one to phlegm up, so.
Okay. But I think it's littering.
Yeah. I know there's a lot of towns that will fine you for dropping cigarette butts and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone that's been caught. I think you're probably right. Probably target tourists.
Yeah. And hey, it was successful for the city of Manchester.
And that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess I do have some bad travel experience. Yeah.
So I think that's about the end for this week. Have we got anything lined up for next week yet, Dom?
I'm collecting some poker names. I do like to collect the best screen names and stuff. I think I mentioned to you before. Jamie Walden on Twitter did the World Series of names this year at players of the World Series of Poker, and he had his top 32. And so we'll be listing some of those. We're going to be trying to find some more. If anyone has got any that they want to send in, that'd be fantastic. And I don't want to tread on Jamie's toes, it's his thing, but I did think that if he does the World Series of names, if we could get another 32 together that weren't there, we could do like an APAT of poker names.
Fair enough. I've got my first nomination. It was a player I played against in Nottingham earlier this year, and it was a Norwegian player by the name of Lars Hall.
He's gonna go on the list.
Yeah, and he was Lars Hall by name and Lars Hall by nature. We're playing deuce to 7, and he kept outdrawing me by 1 pip every single time. If I had an 8-6, he had 8-5 perfect. If I had a 7-6, he had 7 perfect. It was just so annoying, and he was just the bane of my life. But I'm sure he's a nice guy, but he's a Lars Hall.
So yeah, that's what we've got lined up for next week. I think we've got a guest confirming on Monday, hopefully, and then I will reveal that on the socials throughout the week once we've got them nailed down.
What's the name of the podcast?
This is the Bean and Dom show, but we've realised our initials make a BAD, so it's the Bad Poker Show.
Ah, yeah. Oh, yeah, you told me in the beginning. My memory.
I did wonder if you'd been listening, but yeah.
Maybe I was still sleeping back then.
Yeah. Well, that's it for this week. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Dom. And thank you, Christoffer, for joining us.
Thank you, Christoffer.
Thank you so much.
And well done for balancing your laptop on your feet for the whole interview as well. That's remarkable achievement.
It's not easy.
No, didn't look it.
But that's another thing that tennis taught me, a great sense of balance.
So until next week, thank you and good night.